Hey guys, how's it going, Electron Man? We're gonna go back on our handy tools to have on. Maybe it's just me, but I just sometimes an analog meter is just it's easier to look up there and see than look at a digital meter. God knows I've got plenty of them. I've got my fluke up here. I got another big screened digital meter there, but the old analog comes in handy sometimes. In fact, a VT-VM of tube meter is nice to have too if you're working with old radio equipment. But anyway, back to this. I picked this up for a song. Now this one, this is a little newer version. I did another series on one of these at 260, but I think it was like a series 5. Well, this is a series 7, and it's got a few cool little features, like it's got a off where it's for transit, so it's not pulling any battery current. So I guess if you store it or whatever, it'd be good to have that. Not sure a whole lot of difference. This one's really clean. I'm hoping when we get it open, because we're going to do a little repair video on this as well, because like I said, I just got this, but hopefully it's in good shape. Hopefully it doesn't have a corroded battery, and I have no idea yet. I hadn't taken the back off. Like I said, got it from a garage sale for a song. This one's kind of neat or unique as far because the fact of that it actually came with the factory probes, and that's super unusual. In fact, I've never had one with the factory probes. This is the first time, and I was looking at these and I was like, well, how do you pull these off? Man, this is some quality stuff here. Look, these probes, they screw off. So I'm guessing there's probably other attachments that you could actually screw on there, but all I've got is the alligator clips, which is really nice for the ground. And you use this one to do your probing. But anyway, just kind of cool. But definitely the reason I say it's one for the bench series is when I get this up and running, it is going my new little bench here. Just the simple fact of I like the analog that, and the fact of I was kind of looking, what you can get for these out on eBay, and you can get these in decent shape for around $50. And I mean, this is a quality. You heard a bird for RF. Well, Simpson, an analog meter. This is cream of the crop right here. This is the high quality stuff. This is what electricians use. So it's not a junk meter. It's not no Chinese knockoff. This is, I'm sure, probably made in America, and in fact, they still make them, and they're about $700 new. But Simpson Electric Company, Elgin, Illinois. So that tells you this is Americana here. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to switch my camera around. We're going to get in this, and hopefully it's a good meter. It's a garage sale, so time will tell. But I'm kind of thinking with the probes, the original probes being with it, whoever had it took good care of it. I mean, it's got some dust on it, but it doesn't have any damage. So we'll get her open, and hopefully we'll be lucky, and we got a really good meter here. I'll be back. Okay, let's go ahead and open her up and see what we got here. I noticed one thing on the Series 7 here already is that it's actually got a the old ones you had to pull the whole back off. This has actually got a battery compartment, so it's definitely something different. I don't know what all else is different on them. I know there's a web page. There's a following of these things that kind of covers all that different stuff, but I definitely know that's how I found out it was a Series 7, but they have like all the new series. Well, what do we got here? Well, that's good news. It looks like very little, if any, corrosion on the battery terminals. That's good. Uh-oh. We got to cut wires here. I believe that is for the 9-volt battery. If I'm not mistaken, this has a 9-volt and then a D battery. So I wonder if it's corroded or if they tore it off or what. This very well might be the reason that I got it for a song. Interesting. Well, let me go see if I've got a 9-volt connector and a D battery, and let's just see what we got here. See if we need to calibrate it, how it turns out. Anyway, I'll be back. I need to go find some parts to do a little work on this. Okay, well, we got her. Fortunately, usually when I end up with a project that needs something, I buy more than one, and apparently I bought like a dozen of these, so I had some handy. So good news there. So we'll be able to replace this 9-volt connector. Go ahead and we'll do that first, which that should be pretty easy. Just strip back a couple wires here. And we don't need to be that long. Let's take some of the length off of this. Should be more than long enough. There we go. Strip those there. Little heat sink here. Got me a couple pieces of heat sink. Twist these up. I'll go ahead and solder them too. Might as well make it permanent. This is kind of a small tip for this, but we should be able to do it. I was working on a $3DS's, and I've got this micro tip on my iron right now. Not really for general soldering, really, but it'll work for this. Thought about doing a couple videos on 3DS repairs, but man, it's just so small. I can't get the camera to zoom in where you can really see what I'm doing on the components, and then it's kind of intricate work, and trying to record that stuff's just hard. And, I cut the heat shrink, and I didn't put it on it. How many times have you guys done that? Makes me mad every time I do it. I found though you can back out of that pretty easy. I'll just recut them, restrip them, resolder them. Now I can either cut that out of this video or I can leave it in. I have to decide what I want to do on that. What do you guys think? Well, I'm asking y'all, but I'm going to decide that before I put the video out. So. Do I want to be Hollywoodish or I want to be realistic? Because I guarantee I ain't the only one that's ever done that. I mean, I guess you could get lazy and just wrap them with electrical tape, but heat shrink's just too neat. Makes a nice finished product. This is a nice meter, so I don't want to mess it up with electrical tape. Okay, rinse and repeat, right? Got our little stringers here, and now we have our heat shrink. Slide that over. Do I have a lighter handle? Oh, great. Here's one. Shrink my heat shrink. Pull my other one over. Shrink it down. I don't know who invented heat shrink, but man, what a great product. There we go. Just like that. Oh, now I need to hunt some batteries. Actually, that there, that there, that there. Clean that up. I just need a couple batteries now. Now, let me go find some batteries. I did a review over this battery holder, man. I'm telling you, such a handy item to have. Oops, I need to remember to order some 9 volts. It's the last one of those. We'll go ahead and go Duracell 100%. All right. Let's see. Positive goes this way. 9 volt. And it looks like it actually stashes down in there. Yeah. Man, I don't like that. Let's turn it. OCD. There we go. That way I'm not pushing those wires up against that right there. There we go. Hopefully that's all it takes to fix this. Restore it. Typically I found these, they usually don't need much calibrating. And this one doesn't feel dirty on the controls, so we'll see. Okay. Now let me get you back down here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Hopefully getting a good view of that. What do we test first? Let's test a resistor. We already got it set to resistance anyway, so that's a good spot for it to be. Go ahead and we'll just plug her up. Kind of handy for these prongs. Oh, look at that baby. She already is doing exactly what she should. Okay, here we got a 50 ohm resistor here. Let's give it a try and see if that's all it needed to fix it. I kind of like these little alligator clips. Put clip one on here. If it's 50 ohms, then it should read 50 ohms right there. Let's see how close and accurate this is. I haven't touched anything. Let's see what she does. Look at that. 50 ohms on the spot. Man, I think I got me a good meter here right off the bat. Wow. Okay, well let me let's do a little more testing here. I've got my power supply here, my variable power supply. Let's go ahead and hook it up and see what it does as far as accuracy on it. Okay guys, you want to see how accurate this is? Look at that. It's right up, straight up and down, which is 5 volts on the 10 volt scale. Right in the middle, 5 volts. 5 volts. Probably 20 plus years old, and the accuracy is amazing. So let's check AC. That's really about the only thing we got left to check so far. AC on it. So we just switch her over to AC. And go over to 250 volts, which would be AC 10. So okay, let's see what we got. $120 volts, 122 volts actually. Amazing. This meter works perfect. The only problem with it was the 9-volt battery connector. That's, you know, that's the good thing about buying these like this, is there's not a whole lot of complicated stuff, and it doesn't even appear that it needs any cleaning of the pots either. Somebody took good care of this. Yeah, this is going to be a bench edition. I'm going to put it up here on my bench, right next to my Fluke digital. Like I said, analog's so nice when you're going through there because you can just watch that meter bounce. And it's just for me, you know, we all got our preferences. But if you're building a little workbench, I think it's a great little item to have. And like I said, you can go out on eBay, you can find one that's in good, relatively great shape for under $50. And I mean, in accuracy, as far as analog, you're not going to find much better than this. These are fine pieces of equipment. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. It's kind of short. I thought I was going to have to take it apart and clean pots and calibrate it and do a repair on it. And actually, it just turns out all I had to do is put a 9-volt connector on it and put a couple batteries in it, and the whole Simpson's up and running like a charm. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know it's kind of short, just a kind of my bench series of things that if you're building up your little workbench, you know, and you're on a budget, this is definitely one of those items. I would go over this over a cheap $30 digital one on Amazon because of the fact that the accuracy is going to be so much better on this. But anyway, that's my opinion. As always, guys, have a great day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. This is the Electron Man.